Hello folks, welcome back to another video. My name's Alex and this is the Crafty Camper channel. Today I'm going to be showing you around the interior of the van. It's a bit arse backwards to be honest, mostly because I had a time deadline and I realised I just had to stop filming. Unfortunately I couldn't, capture everything that I was doing in the van because I had a fixed deadline where I needed to be in the south of Italy. So we were south of the Amalfi Coast, south of Sorrento, south of Naples. If you know the area, we were sort of south of there because my friends Steph and Tom got married, which is absolutely lovely. We had such a fantastic time and we're so happy for Steph and Tom, and all the guests seemed to really enjoy themselves, so that was great. But it gave me a very hard deadline to work to. We actually ended up taking Steph's dress with us, so we had to make it. There was quite a lot of pressure to be there on time. So I basically, if any of you have tried to film whilst actually building something, you'll know it takes 3 times as long. You've got to set up different angles. I was walking from place to place, I just had to stop. So I've got a bit of footage, which as we go through the video, I'll try and slot it in, but honestly it's about 2 months ago since I stopped filming, so I don't actually remember what I filmed and what I haven't, so this might be a bit disjointed, so I apologise in advance. But I'm currently in Courmayeur. This is where we came last year. If you saw my videos, I'll put a link up here. We went to northern Italy last year. We actually came to this exact campsite. We were actually parked just over there. We've loved this place. We were only here for one night last time, and we enjoyed it so much that we've actually come back for 2 nights. So we're just actually about to leave. We're on the way back, basically on the homeward leg of our 2-week holiday. So this is the end. In a couple of days we'll be back on the tunnel. But anyway, that's not why you're here. You're here to see what I've done to the van since basically, I can't remember the last thing I was doing. It's probably the ceiling. The ceiling was probably the last thing I actually showed you guys. It's almost like nearly a complete van now. So I'm just going to walk you through some of the things that I've done since then. So if you haven't already, and it's the first time you come to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I really would love to grow it. I'd love this year to hit 1,000 subscribers. That'd be fantastic. And there'll be more content coming out. I'm going to try and get myself back on track now that the pressure of being here is over. For the rest of the year I can carry on finishing off the bits of the van that I've still got to do. So yeah, please do subscribe, and if you do, obviously if you like this video, please do hit the thumbs up button. That really helps me to grow the channel. Anyway, no more waffle. Let's show you the bits of the van that's changed and some of the little features that I really like. So it's a very small addition to the van, but one of the things I've done is on the sliding door rail here, I've actually epoxy bonded this little ramp piece that I bought off eBay. And it kind of goes up and it's got a divot in the middle of it and then goes down the other side, so the sliding door can actually roll all the way over it, so you can have it all the way there, or you can open up the door and just put the roller into the little divot, and it keeps your door halfway open. So I've actually glued that into place, so that basically the door edge meets where our oven is. So the layout of the van is very similar to how it was last year. We'd liked the layout of the van, stripped it all out, rebuilt it in basically the same vein, the same layout. It worked for us. There was no point in changing it. It just needed to be lighter. Again, if this is the first time you come into my channel, go back and start from the beginning and see basically all the work I've done. I've stripped this all out, or most of it. I've stripped about 80% of it out and started again. So again, what we've done is we've installed a mosquito net that goes all the way around. Our chairs are still here, just inside the door, so they're tucked out of the way but really easy to get to. You don't have to move a load of stuff. And then behind here is still our gas cabinet where we turn the gas on and off when we drive, the manifold, bit of storage, that sort of thing, and our little step that we've got. I think I'm going to remake this and make this was something I just knocked up previously, but that sits underneath the floor there. So that's basically what you see. The bulkhead is still the same. That's still I was going to say original, but I haven't modified that yet. That's almost like phase 2. I'm probably going to do that this winter, because Sophie and I are really hoping that we're going to get a dog. So yeah, we're going to do a few modifications to the front to make it more dog friendly, put a sliding partition in, and just rebuild this, because having redone the interior, actually it makes it look a bit out of place. So anyway, let's go inside. So as you come inside, first thing that's on your right as you come in through the door is this cooker. It has a really nasty screech to it when you open it. Sorry if you're wearing headphones and that you caught that. Yeah, so it's got an oven, it's got a grill, and it's got 2 hobs, and then it's got this like folding worktop. So again, you've got a bit more storage space, or worktop space if you want it. Or if I want it, we want it. Not you probably won't be in the van. Yeah, and then I've just lined this with aluminium sheet, just some thin aluminium sheet to protect the wood from the heat and just reflect it back. So and give it a wipeable surface to keep it clean. So unfortunately, I didn't actually get time to actually finish the surface of the wood when before we came away. So a lot of this is still just like a raw wood finish. You can see I haven't even had time to sand the pencil mark off of this surface before we came away. So I was literally working on this a couple of hours before we got in the van, and drove to France to come for Steph and Tom's wedding. It has literally been, I was working on it up to the wire, so that's it's literally why I didn't have time to film. So some of the changes you may notice, we now have cupboards this side. Last time we had an open shelf, but actually we wanted, or I'd wanted, to be able to utilise all of the space up to the ceiling. So cupboards allows us to almost like stack things, and then again we've got these magnetic locks, which I've shown in a previous video. Again, I'll put a link up here. Magnetic locks on our cupboards, so that when you turn the ignition key, these will activate, and we do just have to basically do like a flight attendant check, where we just come in and we just push them, because they're not quite right. I need to fiddle with them a bit more, I think, just to make them lock. But literally just come in, tap them, they all lock, and then when you turn the key off, all of the cupboards open. So there's none of this like pushing a button to open them, and they just work like cupboards, which is quite nice. But yeah, we just come in and do a final check. One of the other things I did is I put LED strip in a channel just above the cupboards, which gives it kind of like a nice mood lighting. Again, I really like this feature. I think it really helps to just, I don't know, connect the front and the back of the van. That sounds all a bit like good bollocks, doesn't it really? But it does. It's a really nice effect, and it's all on a dimmer switch, so you can make it brighter or not as bright, depending on what you need. And again, one of the things I've done is I have routed, if I can just change the camera, I've routed a channel in the underside of these shelves, and put LED strip in there with a plastic diffuser under here to give us some brighter task lighting. So this, can't dim this one, it literally just illuminates our worktop. Sorry, I got completely distracted by a meme I saw on Reddit recently, where like the guy from Homes Under the Hammer or something is like, why did you do this? And someone's put a piano in where he
What made you want to buy this place? Congratulations. Tell me why you wanted to buy the flat. Congratulations. Thank you. Why did you want to buy the house?
Yeah, so anyway, yeah. So the front and the cab, the bulkhead, there's still, this shelf that we've put in previously, that I put in previously, has still got our bedding and stuff, still lives up here. So this is all still the same as previous, still the heavy wood. I mean, if you see the thickness of that, this is what I've taken out, and that's basically what I used to construct the van last time. And that's why it was just too heavy. So again, this has got to come out. So there's a bit more weight saving to be done, because this worktop's going to come out, cupboards are going to come out, and going to put a sliding partition in. One of the other things I've changed is where the tables are stored. So previously they were at the end of the sofa, but now I've made this little cupboard, which is quite stiff because these hinges. I've got 3 hinges on the cupboard, and actually it's a bit overpowered for it, but it stops the tables from sliding out. So down here, basically the tables slide in and out of this little storage here. So we've got 2 tables, and then again we've got some little storage up here for for like we've got baking trays, chopping boards. You know, there's oven gloves sit down there. Again, we've got a bit more storage here as well, which we didn't have before. This was sort of wasted space against the oven last time, so everything's ever so slightly come this way to make the toilet cupboard a bit bigger. So yeah, and again, we've used these leather straps that we had last time and bought a few more of them. Really expensive from IKEA, but actually I think they really helped to finish the van off. And we were thinking about painting the wood and painting it to finish it, but we're not too sure. Not too sure if we're going to use Osmo oil and just protect it, or some sort of resin or paint, or we don't know yet. Maybe wallpaper. We don't know. We don't know how we're going to finish it, but that's a decision for later on, you know. So then this is our toilet cupboard. We're going to have a mirror on the back of the door. I did get in contact with the company that I bought it from a week before we left, but actually because of the Coronation Bank holiday in the UK, we didn't actually, there wasn't enough working days to get it, so it turned up the Monday after we left on the Friday, so that's a bit frustrating. But there's going to be a full length mirror here, and then you can see we've got a hanging rail in here which is removable. We've currently got our towels hung up. And then there's the porta potty, which I actually put on a plinth to raise it up slightly to make it a bit more comfortable to use. So again, that's a nice space. It's a bit bigger this time because we found actually there wasn't just quite enough space to get up off the dunny. So we've just, yeah, that's partly why the tables have moved, and yeah, it's just to allow that bit of extra space and a bit of extra storage. So anyway, coming further back. So before we look at the back of the van, where I currently am, I just wanted to say to you, I've become an affiliate with Insta360. So I film all of my videos using the Insta360 One RS cameras. And they also do, as the name would imply, they do 360-degree cameras, which I used in my Finland skiing trip earlier this year. And I really like their products, so much so I've become an affiliate with them. One of the things I really like about them is that their cameras are modular. So this is the 1-inch Leica lens, and then the 1-inch, sorry, not the 1-inch, the One RS camera body, and these just like snap together. So you just assemble them, which means you can have the screen facing you if you want to do it in vlog mode like I am right now, or if you're trying to capture something in front of you like a traditional GoPro or another action camera, again you can put the screen so that you can view it and you can see what you're filming, and then the battery literally just clips on the bottom. So I really enjoy the fact that these are modular, and I use them. I've got 3 of these cameras. I've got one at home as well, and I brought these 2 with me on holiday, and they're fantastic. The photo mode, I actually managed to capture the northern lights with these. So I really like these. If you check the links in the description below, if you use the link, I'll get a 5% commission off that, but also you'll get a free one of these batteries, so you'll actually get an extra battery. It's a 1400 milliamp hour battery, so they do last quite a long time, but it's great just to be able to have one and then charge another, and just swap them out. So if you use this link for the One RS, you will get a free battery. If you use the links, I'll put several links down below. If you use one for the new One X2, which is the 360-degree camera, you can get things like sticky lens guards, which are a must. If you buy a 360-degree camera, get the lens guard, because as soon as you damage that lens, you'll see it forever. Whereas the lens guards, you will just you can swap those out. So again, the link will give you a free lens guard, and depending on the bundle you choose, there are, like, you can get a selfie stick and that sort of thing. So check those out below, and yeah, I can't say enough good things about these. I really enjoy them. So anyway, let's have a look at the back of the van. So coming further back, we've now got a Max Air Fan Deluxe in here, which disappointingly has gone wrong a bit. The motor that lifts the lid up and down seems to have malfunctioned, and yeah, it doesn't work quite right. But when we get back to the UK, I'll contact the distributor in the UK and see if I can get this sorted. Bit of a disappointment, but it's been invaluable. Honestly, we came here last year, came to Italy, and we had like 35, 37 degree heat last year, and it was so stiflingly hot. And then again, we were in, this year we've been in Florence and in Pompeii, and again we had 35, 37 degree heat, and having the fan has literally, it's been perfect. It's helped to take the air out and just move it around as we hoped it would. It's been brilliant. We've really enjoyed having this, and so taking the solar panels, reducing the solar panels from 2 down to 1 has been perfect. And actually, the power, so it's a 410 watt panel on the roof, but the solar charge controller can only actually handle 270 watts, which is absolutely fine. It's charging the battery at 270 watts. It means when there's lower light in the winter, hopefully we'll still get that 270 watts power, even if the panel's not making its peak 400 watts. So don't worry if that's jargon to you, but basically our battery is still getting fully charged, and having the fan hasn't actually compromised our electrical system whatsoever. I think it might have been a different scenario had we had the lead acid batteries that we had previously, but having had the lithium batteries, again, there's a video in my channel of me building that battery. Having that 560 amp hour lithium battery means we don't worry about power anymore. We were always like checking the meter every morning, and the fridge was cycling on and off because there wasn't enough power in the lead acids. But now, actually having that lithium battery has transformed this fan, and having had it for 2 weeks, it's been fantastic. I've been tweaking the settings a little bit as we've been going, just to really dial it in. But honestly, it's been great. So again, we've got more storage cupboards this side, where we keep our clothes, with magnets again. So these it's great. It's lovely to just be able to open up a cupboard when you want to. There's some little shelves back here, which I didn't get a chance to finish. There's going to be little cupboard doors on here and end pieces to go on, but it wasn't a big deal really for this trip. We just needed the bulk of the work to be finished so that our stuff wouldn't actually disappear. So we'll probably keep like reading books and other knickknacks probably in these end cupboards. So it wasn't a big deal for this trip. And we've now got 3 cupboards this side, whereas previously we only had 2. One of the features I think we're going to lose from the last build over this one is previously we had maps, like 1960s maps on the doors. And I think it was lovely, but I think it's something we're not going to recreate, mostly because I can't find the maps again, because the cupboard doors are now bigger, and I cut the maps previously, so they'd actually be too small for the size of the door. So actually, I can't recreate that, and I think actually this is going to have a different feel this time round. It's going to have a much cleaner look, I think. So yeah, I don't think the maps are going to come back, which is a shame because it was a cool story. It was a cool feature of the van, but I think actually this time around it's probably not going to feature. So again, more lights under here. These ones are actually on a dimmer, so they get brighter and and less bright. So again, we've got more control, which we didn't have before. These were just on an on-off switch, and it gives the fan a really nice, cozy feeling. And you can change them. So and then we've got the control panel, the switch panel, with the fuses, the BMV from Victron, so we can see all of the details about our lithium battery, where the water is, the level of the water. Turns out we need to fill up, which we're going to do before we leave. The water heater, the dimmer switch for the lights, and then all of the switches to do the various bits and pieces in the van. So that's come out really nicely. Having built the one last time, I've had actually I had a better idea of what I wanted to do. It's all those things, you do something the second time round, it comes out so much better than the first. And you learn from having lived with it for a couple of years actually what it wants to do. So the next bit to show you, I guess, is the bed. So last time the bed we used to use the backs of the sofa to bridge the gap, and then rearrange the cushions, which was fine. It worked fine, but honestly it was a bit of a faff. So this time the seat backs on both sides are actually they stay in place. They've got piano hinges at the bottom, and they can, which means they can tilt forwards, which gives us basically somewhere for our dirty laundry. So this is the cushion, and then this is the seat back. And what I've done is I've actually put it on a like a security door chain. Those like slide lock things you put on your front door. to stop it from coming forwards too far. When the van's driving around, hopefully it means that the cushions and things won't start flying around. We actually need to find a way of. We've got Velcro on here, but I don't think we're going to put Velcro on here because it's too harsh. We'll end up pulling the carpet off. So I think we're going to make some little straps to basically strap over the top. So we've got to find a way of fixing these to the back that's temporary, because this cushion, we use this to fill the middle gap. So yeah, that's a nice feature which we didn't have before. So we've got somewhere for our dirty laundry now, rather than having to keep it in the cupboards with our clean clothes, and then having to like dig around and try and find clean clothes in amongst the dirty stuff. So yeah, so just adjust the camera angle. So down here we've got our four sockets basically for putting the poles in. So the poles for the tables live here, and they just slot in, and then we get the tables out of the cupboard and they go on. And these pole bases, they're equally spaced, so actually you can put a table in 3 positions, or you can have 2 tables. So it gives a bit more flexibility to the layout of the van when if you've got multiple people in here. Sometimes we have friends and we play board games, so we want a nice big table to lay out a board game, or sometimes it's just Sophie and I, well, most of the time it's just Sophie and I, so we can have one table in the middle or one table on the end. It just gives us flexibility for the space, because this bench both sides is 2 meters long, so it makes up a king size bed. So it just gives us lots of space to lounge out and enjoy ourselves, and flexibility for hosting friends, which is really nice. And then the bed, I basically went for the pull out option, which just pulls across, and there's a lip on the side that I'm sat on, and this just pulls across and bridges the gap. And again, this is just a really simple solution. I put it on drawer runners to keep it in place when it's not when it's not in use and it's in sofa mode. It all just works really nicely. So we've had this for we've been sleeping on this for 2 weeks now, and it's just worked perfectly, which is great. And yeah, and simplicity is what you really want in your build, because you don't want to have to be faffing around moving things around when you're trying to go to bed, when you're tired. You just want things to be nice and simple. So yeah, that's what we've got, which is really nice. We've got simplicity. So talking about lounging around, we also have a projector and a projector screen. So I won't get the projector out, but I'll get the screen out. There's I put a little nubbin up in the a little thread up in the ceiling here, which allows me to mount our projector on the ceiling. And then we've got some little poppers on the side here, and this just bridges across the back of the van, and this is how we can watch TV if we want to. We can just sit here, put a film on. I just tether my phone, put the mobile hotspot on, and yeah, we sat and watched Eurovision in the van. We were travelling that Saturday, and yeah, we've sat and watched Eurovision live it's a 6-foot screen, so it felt like we're actually there. And then there's some Bluetooth speakers in the back of in the back doors, which again the projector will connect to. So you get this really awesome, almost like mini theatre experience almost. So again, look back in my channel if this is the first time you've come to me. You found me. There's a video of me putting the speakers in the back of the back doors. Go and have a look. So yeah, simplicity. Simplicity is what you want when you're building your van. Try and follow the the KISS thing, which is keep it simple, stupid. Make sure that whatever you're doing is easy to use, because if it's not, honestly, it's just a faff, and you won't want to use it, and you'll just be fed up. Well, not fed up, but you just won't use the things that you're doing. It's got to be simple. And look at videos like this. get ideas from other people and pick their brains if you need to. You know, message them on social media and say, look, how did you do this? I really like this. And I'm sure people are happy to share their knowledge and how they did it, and they might even do you a little video. You know, like if you see any parts of my van that you really like and you want a bit more detail on it, and I haven't covered it in another video, send me a message, leave me a comment in this, and just say, you know, what you'd want to see, like an in detail, you know, even just a 3-minute video or something on how I've done something. Go for it. I'm more than happy to share it. It's not secret knowledge that I'm not willing to share, you know. So one of the things we need to do is finish the van, decoration mostly. I think we certainly need to protect all the surfaces of the wood. The kick panels down here on the bottom of the sofas have certainly got mud and stuff on where it's come off the bottom of our shoes and that sort of thing. So they need sanding down and some sort of surface protection putting on. The air heater, whilst it works, again, I didn't get a chance to finish it, so I need to put things like vent covers on and do some pipe work and that sort of thing. So there's lots of bits to finish. Like a good friend of mine, Max, he said 20% of the work, 80% of the work takes 20% of the time, and the last 20% takes 80%. Well, I can't remember. It's an 80-20 rule. Let's get that right. 80% of the work takes 20% of the time, but the last 20% of the work takes 80% of the time. So yeah, there's certainly a lot of finishing off to do, rebuilding this worktop. But generally, I'm quite happy with how it's come out. I've got to build some drawers at the back of the van that will slide out again to make life easier, so I don't have to start like crawling and trying to crawl under the sofas to get at things. I cut the wood at home, but I just didn't. I ran out of time to actually put them together into a rectangular shape and mount them to the drawer runners and get them mounted before we came away. Again, it wasn't crucial for this. It wasn't crucial for this trip, so I literally had to focus on what did I actually need to survive for 2 weeks. So in the front, one of the things I've done is I have replaced the head unit with the new Android head unit. So I'll probably do a video on like an overview of that at some point in the future. I'm really happy with it. It comes with I bought like the 360 degree camera version, so I've still got to dial the cameras in, but it actually at some point will give me a 360 degree view of the van. I've still got to install the rear camera, but again, I just had to get things done for this trip. So there's lots of little, you know, finishing touches that I'll do videos on this year, and there's still plenty of content to come from me. So again, apologise, this is a bit arse backwards. Hopefully I've inserted, you know, bits of footage about me sanding the floor and building the beds, that sort of thing. If I haven't, I will make another video to come out after this. I can't remember what I haven't filmed at this point. It's all been an absolute whirlwind, and I've been trying really hard to protect my mental health and not overwhelm myself. So if you got this far, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you haven't, please do hit that like button if you've enjoyed seeing the interior of our van, and press the subscribe button. And I'll leave a couple of things at the back here at the end of the video to point you to the playlists and that sort of thing, some extra videos. So please do go and do that. That'd be great.